Hello, good evening and welcome to the program. This is our newsroom here at NSG News. My name is yours truly, Kofi Asante Mensah, and this is NSG News, Pulse of the Week on the 14th day of November 2025. And welcome to the program wherever you are watching us from. We are happy you are here. Once again, it's Kofi Asante Mensah on NSG News. First, we begin with our news update after this breather. This is Pulse of the Week, the news program that brings breakdown of issues, and I mean the major issues in the Republic of Ghana. We break it down and also have comprehensive news analysis with experts that will comprehend and explain the news items for your consumption. Welcome. This is where we measure the pulse of the week, twice in a week, on Wednesdays and also on Fridays. That's why we are here today, the 14th day of November, to measure the pulse of the week. Once again, it's Kofi Asante Mensah. Just after this breather, we start with our news update. Welcome to Pulse of the Week, and this is our newsroom. Welcome. Happy to have you back. It's your man, Kofi Asante Mensah. This is Pulse of the Week, and this is NSG News. Please join us on our many social media platforms, especially on YouTube, because we are live right now, and our channel's name is NSG News TV. NSG News TV. We are also on our website. Please read more on our website, and our website's name is www.nsgnews.com. Please follow us on all social media platforms. This is the week from Monday to Friday. I presume it should even start from Sunday. From Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Today, Friday, the 14th day of November. This is the week that featured a lot of major stories. Wednesday, I was here to serve you with hot stories relating to the report, the helicopter crash report. Also, I came to you with some security soup. The IGP, together with the military, did in Volta region, also in Ashanti region, and in Ahafo region. This is also the week which has to do with some few court issues relating to Chemawuntumina Kontamina issues. Also happened this week, and lithium lease. We brought you those stories within this week on a Wednesday. We measured that temperature. This is the week we had the gold board announced to us. They have been sweeping around and been arresting people who are illegally smuggling some gold. We also brought you on Wednesday that big news, the breaking news, where 6 ladies, beautiful girls, lost their life and perished at the Elwak Sports Stadium because of some enlistment or recruitment into the Ghana Armed Forces. We are here again today to discuss about the Ghana Armed Force recruitment tragedy, and also talk about the big one that happened yesterday, the 2026 fiscal and economic policy statement. We call it budget 2026. We are here to talk about it. We are here also to talk about the approval of the Chief Justice nominee. Now he is official Chief Justice for the Republic of Ghana. His name is Paul Baffoe-Bonne. And we're here to also talk about a little bit of sports, because the Black Stars have been preparing for the World Cup. Today, Japan shipped them 2-0. Hey, Black Stars. Japan Bowotomba Mienu 2-0. All right, so stay with me. Just after this breather, we'll begin with some budgets. Kesel, Dr. Kesel Atofosen was in Parliament. A lot of drama. Minority and majority singing and a whole lot of drama. I'll bring those stories to you. Please stay with me. Hi there. What number is this? 3, right? All right. It's time for NSG News. Welcome. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah. And here at NSG News, you'll get serious documentary to watch, news, reviews, views, and what have you. Because we have Pulse of the Week, and also exclusive on the hot seat. On NSG News, we say news with integrity. Hi, welcome back. It's to your man, Kofi Asante Mensah, here on Pulse of the Week. And this is our newsroom. This is NSG News TV on YouTube. And our website is www.nsgnews.com. welcome to the program. We begin from Parliament, where the budget has been read yesterday, the 13th day of November 2025. It took quite a long time, almost 9 p.m. We're still watching the budget statement being read by the Finance Minister. And this is the story. The Finance Minister has announced that the total appropriation for the fiscal year ending 31st December 2026 amounts to some 357,105,639,000 and some few pesos on it. He made this known on Thursday, November 13, 2025, when he presented the 2026 budget statement and economic policy to Parliament. According to the Minister, total expenditure on a commitment basis for 2026 has been programmed at 302.5 billion, representing 18.9% of gross domestic product, that's GDP. This marks a 20.1% increase over the 2025 projection of 251 Ghana cedis, 251.7 Ghana cedis billion, which accounted for 17.8% of GDP. He explained that the 2026 allocation reflects a careful balance between physical allocation or consolidation and strategic investment in infrastructure, human capital, and social protection.
For the year ending 31st December 2026. Right Honorable Speaker, again in accordance with law, I will also lay before this House the following statutory reports. The first will be the 2025 annual report on petroleum funds, and the second will be the 2025 annual report on the collection and utilization of the African Union Import Levy, in line with Section 7 of the African Union Levy Act 2017, Act 952. Mr. Speaker, in the course of 2026, and pursuant to Article 36(5), I will cause to be laid before Parliament on behalf of the President a coordinated program of economic and social development policies, including agriculture and industrial programs at all levels and in all the regions of Ghana. Right Honorable Speaker, I will also present the following bills, regulations, and memoranda for consideration by this House. Speaker, the bills and regulations will be the following: the Value for Money Bill, the Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill, the Value Added Tax Bill, the COVID-19 Health Recovery Repeal Bill, the Ghana Education Trust Fund Amendment Bill, the National Insurance Amendment Bill, the Public Procurement Regulation, request for approval for a revised investment policy of the Ghana Petroleum Funds in line with Section 31A of the Petroleum Revenue Management Act, Act 2011, Act 815. And finally, a request for approval to implement an AI-powered proposed in me by His Excellency the President to deliver his second budget under his reset agenda. Mr. Speaker, when this administration took office, we met an economy in distress, weighed down by debt, weakened by mismanagement, and stripped of confidence. Mr. Speaker, in the 2025 budget, the 2025 budget was our first act of courage, a declaration that Ghana would rise again through reforms, discipline, and visionary leadership. Right Honorable Speaker, the theme for this year's budget draws from the President's profound words in his 2025 State of the Nation address, when he declared that, Mr. Speaker, quote, "Today, inspired by Almighty God and propelled by the massive mandate given to me by the people of Ghana, I am moved to make a purposeful and bold declaration that I, John Dramani Mahama, will fix the economic crisis confronting our country and reset it on the path of growth and sustainability." Right Honorable Speaker, it is with that same conviction that I present the 2026 budget under the theme Resetting for Growth, Jobs and Economic Transformation. Mr. Speaker, under President Mahama's leadership, this government has chosen a harder but a higher road, the road of reform, renewal, and resilience. We have restored fiscal discipline, brought inflation under control, stabilized the cedi, and rekindled investor confidence. This is not just a recovery, it is a
All right, so that's Kessel Atto-Forson over there. He further stated that, or revealed that, alarming findings of widespread abuse within Ghana's import declaration system, leading to some billions of dollars being illicitly transferred abroad under the guise of legitimate trade. And this is what he said.
It was a staggering abuse of import declaration forms, a tool meant to support legitimate trade, but now hijacked for illicit transfers and tax evasion. Mr. Speaker, between April 2020 and August 2025, over 525,000 transactions amounting to an equivalent of $83 billion were processed through ICOPS. Mr. Speaker, surprisingly, this amount of $83 billion were transferred from Ghana in the name of imports. But surprisingly, Mr. Speaker, only 10,440 of these transactions were linked to actual imports. Mr. Speaker, an equivalent of $31 billion in transactions were transferred abroad with no goods imported into the country. Mr. Speaker, this leaks bleeds our reserves, weakens the Ghana
(18) 2025, Dr. Kessel Atto-Forson highlighted recent macroeconomic gains, indicating a decline in inflation and GDP growth of 6.3% in the first half of the year. He also indicated that agriculture has developed some 6%.
Solar tariffs, projects like BXC and Mineji have dropped from 18 to 6.5 cents per kilowatt hour, cutting costs and expanding access. The Speaker, this was achieved as part of the renegotiation. The Speaker, the Electricity Company of Ghana revenues has risen almost 90%, from 900 million to 1.7 billion Ghana cedis per month, thanks to better enforcement of the cash waterfall mechanism. The Speaker, I repeat, ECG's revenue has improved by almost 90% per month, from 900 Ghana cedis per month to 1.7 billion Ghana cedis per calendar month. And deprive the economy of resources that should have been used to build schools, roads, and hospitals. Mr. Speaker, the service sector remains the heartbeat of recovery, surging 8.8%, with ICT up 17.2%, finance and insurance up 9.5%, and education up 14.9%. Agriculture, the backbone of stability, also grew by 6%, doubling that of last year. Mr. Speaker, cocoa rebound from a sharp 21.4%, contracting to 2.8% growth. Mr. Speaker, thanks to the targeted farm support and smarter policies. Industry held steady despite reduced oil output. Manufacturing rose 6.3% and construction 4.0%, reflecting reliable energy and revived infrastructure projects. On the demand side, Right Honourable Speaker, household consumption grew by 8.2%, reflecting stronger household confidence. Government spending also slowed to 3.7% proving fiscal discipline. The Speaker, export grew 11.5%, led by gold, cocoa, and non-traditional export. This is the growth that creates jobs, lifts incomes, and builds lasting stability. The Speaker.
You know, if you look at the last election, some were in complete shock
of the results.
Yes. While we were telling them 6 months before that
So you are a traitor or what? I don't know.
The last person who will be a traitor in this country will be me. I'm very patriotic.
It is alleged that NDC is sponsoring you to do their dirty work. Let me put it that way. That's my word, dirty work, to discredit the advances of the MPP. You've been drawn into partisan politics. How do you come out of this one?
One, I have not been contracted, required to do anything for NDC against any entity in this country. Absolutely not. I don't belong to the NDC. I don't belong to the MPP. I don't have political party affiliation with any other party. No. Now look, where we are in Hacho now. I remember when I was going to write the O-levels, I didn't have money to pay for the fees. So I had to carry labor, do by day labor. Here. We're one of those who started building houses in this area as a laborer. You have to even go and carry the cement from afar because there were no buildings to store them in. This would be the shock. We were branded as mad people. But the numbers we were banding around was in excess of a 2.something million gap. We have to realize that the country, Ghana, has changed profoundly, even from 2016 levels.
I think it wasn't Ghana government funded.
No, it wasn't Ghana government funded. No, on your own you struggle and then you go to Denmark. I remember when I arrived in Frankfurt, on my way to Denmark, I had only $500 in my pocket. And that was to pay for your accommodation, pay for your feeding, pay for everything.
Hi, welcome back, and apologies. I understand you couldn't hear me so much, but we are back now. I'm confident you can hear me now. Thank you very much. And this is Pulse of the Week. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah, and this is our news update. Welcome to our newsroom. Let's do some more budget stories because Finance Minister Dr. Kesel Ato-Forson has officially abolished the COVID-19 levy as part of the 2026 budget statement aimed at boosting household income, supporting businesses, and driving economic transformation, presenting the budget on Thursday, November 13, under the theme Resetting the Growth, Job, and Economic Transformation. Dr. Kesel Ato-Forson announced a series of tax reforms designed to ease the tax burden on individuals and businesses.
Trust in our fiscal institutions and rekindled the hope of our country. The task before us now is to turn that stability into sustained progress and to make growth felt in every home, every community, and every enterprise. The Speaker, the 2026 budget represents the next phase of our national renewal, a practical, forward-looking plan to consolidate the gains, accelerate transformation, and secure prosperity for all Ghanaians. It is the next chapter in building the Ghana we want, a nation that works around the clock, creates opportunities for all, and protect the dignity and...
After this fufu and pepper soup, I will score goals like them, the dash points.
For 2026 and the medium term, government will implement a comprehensive set of revenue, expenditure, and structural measures underpinned by transparency and accountability. The Speaker, on the revenue side, government will deepen domestic resource mobilization through the implementation of the medium-term revenue strategy. In addition, government will undertake comprehensive VAT reforms. Will also tighten enforcement of tax arrests and exemptions, ensuring that all eligible entities pay their fair share. Mr. Speaker, these measures are expected to lift non-oil revenue to 15.7% of GDP in 2026 from a projected 15.1% of GDP in 2025. Mr. Speaker, take you to VAT reforms. In 2025 budget and the media fiscal policy review, government made a firm promise to reform Ghana's value-added tax system to make it fairer, simpler, and more efficient. We pray to remove distortions, addressing the cascading effect inherent in the VAT system, strengthen compliance.
In more stories, case of Baffoe-Bonne still in budget-related stories. Please stay with me. Finance Minister Dr. Kisa Baffoe-Bonne is indicating to Parliament by way of budget statement that the 2026 budget makes a return of fiscal discipline and economic boom for the country. And this is what he said.
Mr. Speaker, Eurobond prices are up by 17%. Yield down by 300 basis points, and investor confidence is back. Mr. Speaker, Ghana has entered a new era of debt sustainability, anchored on discipline, transparency, and fiscal sovereignty. Mr. Speaker, I'll give an update on sovereign credit ratings. Right Honorable Speaker, all three major international rating agencies have upgraded Ghana's, affirming new faith in our macroeconomic management. In June 2025, Fitch lifted Ghana from restricted default to B-. Again, Moody's in October upgraded Ghana to CAA1. And Mr. Speaker, in November, a couple of weeks ago, S&P also upgraded Ghana to B-/B. Over 17,700 IDF applications broke this limit, channeling an equivalent of about 20 billion United States dollars in unverified transactions out of Ghana. Right Honorable Speaker, this was not a loophole. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, this was not a loophole. It was an organized system for exploitation. In fact, an organized crime. Mr. Speaker, persons and institutions behind these activities are being referred to the Attorney General, Economic and Organized Crime Office, the FIC, and CID for investigation. Mr. Speaker, also, the Ghana Revenue Authority will establish a special recovery unit to reclaim all this lost revenue between this period. Right Honorable Speaker, government has since acted decisively. An interagency committee will now audit all imported related transfers going forward. The Bank of Ghana will also match every forex transfer with verified import data. The Speaker, we are drawing a hard line. Every dollar leaving Ghana must deliver real value for the people.
To show you, you have to stay with me. Today is Friday, 14th day of November 2025. We are live on NSG News, and this is Pulse of the Week, and this is our news update. And I always say welcome to our newsroom. We are live from our plush studios here in Adenta, here in the Republic of Ghana, the center of the world. Thank you very much for joining us. Please share some comments with us on YouTube or however you are watching us. Please leave a message. Read more on our website, www.nsgnews.com. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah, and this is Pulse of the Week on NSG News TV. Let's do some more stories, and it's a good news for creators and people in the entertainment industry, because Dr. Kisa Baffoe-Bonne has allocated some 20 million Ghana cedis for the industry, and that's how he put it. Please listen. All right, so we have that video for you pretty shortly. And you know, the minority in Parliament also organized a press conference today. We'll talk about them. But I'll still remain in Parliament. What happened in the Republic of Ghana by way of budget reading yesterday. A lot of singing, and I was intrigued that moment when the Speaker of Parliament stood up and just left the August House because of the noise and the singing. And he came back to explain why he left the August House. I think that video for the creators is more than ready now. Kofi Berry says it's ready, and Justice says it's ready. We can watch it now. Please watch.
Sharpen growth and inflation data, strengthen planning, and provide regional GDP estimates to guide local development. The new CPI will give truer picture of living costs across all regions. So, Speaker, I now take you to resource allocation, where the resources are going. So, Speaker, as we enter 2026, we move from stabilization to acceleration. That improves daily lives. So, Speaker, including the provision of better roads, schools and hospitals, reliable power, jobs, and targeted support for the vulnerable. Right Honorable Speaker, what follows are the headline allocation that will drive delivery in 2026 and set the pace for medium term. Mr. Speaker, to unlock round-the-clock productivity, export and decent jobs under the 24-hour economy, we are provided an allocation of 110 million Ghana cedis in 2026 for the implementation of the 24-hour economy program. Mr. Speaker, we will be leveraging to the 24-hour economy program will be leveraging with GIF and DBG and provide private capital to keep financing largely of the sovereign balance sheet. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated an amount of 2.2 billion Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Right Honorable Speaker, of this amount, we have allocated 245 million Ghana cedis for the Nkokon Ketinketi and Livestock Program. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated another 200 million Ghana cedis to the National Food Buffer Stocks Company to purchase excess food storage. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated an amount of 6.9 billion Ghana cedis, equivalent of 500 million, for the National Policy on Integrated Oil Palm Program between 2026 and 2032. Right Honorable Speaker, to facilitate transportation of farm produce to market and reduce food inflation, we have allocated 828 million Ghana cedis for the construction of 1,000-kilometer agriculture enclave road for 2026. Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated 690 million to commence the operationalization of the Farmers Service Center. Right Honorable Speaker, we have allocated 2 billion Ghana cedis for phase 1 of the Rural Electrification Acceleration and Urban Intensification Initiative in 2026 alone. We have also allocated an amount of 15.2 billion Ghana cedis for the energy sector shortfalls. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated an amount of 4.8 billion Ghana cedis to pay down some of the IPP legacy debt as we have negotiated. Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated an amount of 4.3 billion Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Roads and Highways for road construction. In addition to this, Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 3 billion Ghana cedis to the Road Maintenance Trust Fund to construct 10 kilometers each in 166 constituencies in 2026 to keep roads more travel in our constituencies. Right Honorable Speaker, to strategically open the country, linking nations, national and regional capitals, we are allocating 30 billion Ghana cedis in 2026 for the Big Push program. Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated 33.3 billion Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Education for its program and activities in 2026. Again, Mr. Speaker, aside the amount allocated to the Ministry of Education, we have also allocated 9.9 billion Ghana cedis to the Ghana Education Trust Fund. Mr. Speaker, we have provisioned an amount of 4.2 billion Ghana cedis for the free secondary education program. Mr. Speaker, To end the double track, we have allocated 1.1 billion Ghana cedis for the infrastructure programs I mentioned earlier. Mr. Speaker, again, we have allocated an amount of 537 million Ghana cedis for the no-fees stress policy. Mr. Speaker, that's not all. We have allocated 25 million Ghana cedis for free tertiary education for persons living with disabilities. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 3 billion Ghana cedis to be able to procure 4.
All right, so welcome back. Let's do some more stories here for you. Let's move attention from Parliament. I love to come back because I want to show you how the parliamentarians, both minority and majority side, they were all singing and making a lot of choruses, and how proceedings ended yesterday and even how we continue today, Friday, 14th of November. But I want us to step into some security issues relating to the Elwak incident or tragedy on Wednesday, because we have some few developments hitting us right now on our screens, and we have the information that according to government has directed that families of the 6 applicants who died in Wednesday's Elwak Stadium's stampede submit names of qualified relatives for recruitment into the Ghana Armed Forces. Officials have announced the tragic incident occurred during a recruitment exercise when hundreds of hopeful recruits surged into the stadium for documentation and body screening or selection, leading to a deadly rush that claimed 6 lives and injured many others. I have so many angles to this, but I want you to watch this video. Just after that, a security expert and social development analyst, Mr. Ibad Ibrahim, has joined us on the line and will be engaging him. Please stay with me. Watch this.
Priscilla Nyamalo, 22 years old and a staff of the Kaswa branch of the Consolidated Bank of Ghana, and Patience Potivi. The tragedy has thrown both affected families into deep sorrow. Relatives of Patience Potivi appeared visibly distraught when the MP for Kaswa, Felix Nakoyo Wokuno, in the company of MCE said Sabase Wonubanini, visited the family late last night following the incident. Abigail Nyamalo, mother of Priscilla Nyamalo, couldn't hold her tears as she narrated how she learned about the passing of her daughter.
Mi friend wonfa. Echirena, Mr. Frena, and ofa and osi, or ya ubanu, or yaru, or da 37, or da 37. Missy, Edian see ye, or see o meeting or background no say see yati anisu. Oi, yati anisu, and I missy ye. Yo, me ba says ya. You have to be friend for nanko, me friend. My friend in Brazil, Uncle Jesse, Obe Banumua.
Member of Parliament for the Autu Senior East constituency, Felix Nakoyo Wokuno, pledged support to the families. The Deputy Minister of Defense, Broja Jemfi, and other officials are expected to visit the affected families on Friday.
I went together with my MC to the family house at Ope Kuma, and we broke the news to the family. Unfortunately for us, this morning we had a call that Kaswa had a second casualty. So we also quickly had to rush to Apele here, Cross River, to also break the news to the family.
Meanwhile, the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Agnes Namumolate, during a visit to the victims at the 37 Military Hospital, assured them of the necessary social support to ensure their condition does not become an impediment to their personal development.
A way of social protection for the vulnerable, as they have become, they are not left alone. Their future doesn't die with what has happened with them, but we will examine and assess their dreams, and together we will see how to position them in life such that this does not become.
All right, so you heard that report over there, and then that very report is Honorable Gender and Social Protection Minister Na Momo Latte, and I love her name so much. It is the Momo over there. That's good over there. But let's get serious, get on Zoom right now, because Mr. Ibad Ibrahim, our security analyst, social and development commentator, has joined us on the Zoom. Mr. Ibad Ibrahim, always a pleasure to have you. It's been quite a long time. Where have you been hiding yourself?
It has been, Senior, forgive me. It's been quite difficult to get through to me, but things are beginning to smoothen out. I've been good so far, sir.
We thank God for your life. And let's go through this. How did we get here? Ghana goes to do enlistment by way of military recruitment. And at the Elba Stadium, we had 6 people reportedly, not even reportedly, they have lost their lives. And when I observe on BBC, CNN, and a couple of other African websites, I get devastated. How did we get here, sir?
First of all, I think government deserves commendation for the sheer preponderance of empathy, right from the top to the bottom. It's indeed an unfortunate incident, and it happened on a day His Excellency the President was inaugurating one of the flagship campaign promises he made to boost local production in the poultry industry. And it was happening in an entirely different region. And I think he cut short some of the activities he was to do to rush to the hospital to see the casualties. Then number 2, the Gender Ministry has also shown a great deal of empathy because those involved, I'm told, all 6 who died were young ladies. So at the ministerial level, it's also been good in terms of the response and then the empathy. And then the ministry itself, Ministry for Defense, has said as a consolation, it is providing a slot to each of the 6 families of the deceased to present a person for enlistment within the Ghana Armed Forces. These are reactionary, nationalistic, and empathetic measures that have been put in place. But beyond this, what do we do as a country? Of course, when death rings or comes knocking, it is very difficult to stop it. But the barest minimum we can do is that we need to do the necessary reforms in our recruitment process, and also the idea of body selection. Military and defense conduct has changed significantly over the past century or so. Wars that were fought in the past needed thick, tall people, very fit in their physique, because largely there was a lot of heavy lifting. But defense is mechanized today. There's a great deal of technology. You don't need to be thick, tall to qualify to join the army. You just need to have sharp reflexes. And when you look at some of the most successful armies around the world today, you can see diminutive figures playing various roles, because it's about technology. In the age of drones, unmanned UAVs and all that, there will come a time nations will go to war strictly on technology, when enemy combatants will not even see one another face to face. So Ghana should wake up and then smell the coffee, that those days of Goliath-looking people joining the army are long gone. And then we need to cut short.
All right, I think I'm having some difficulties with Mr. Ibad Ibrahim's video over there, but I'm sure we will rectify it
The procedure.
shortly.
When a person goes home, that suffices
Mr. Ibad Ibrahim,
to join the army.
I think your line got frozen a little bit over there. Can you hear me? Hello, sir, can you hear me? I think the line is frozen again, and we'll be happy. The networks are so bad nowadays, so it's so difficult to get on WhatsApp or Zoom call or any online work, but I think we are trying our best. And there's a caution to all operators, telecommunication operators in this country, especially MTN, Vodafone, and the rest. Please, up your game. Up your game. Let's get back on Zoom if we can still have Mr. Ibad Ibrahim. I have a lot of questions to ask this gentleman. Mr. Ibad Ibrahim, please, can you hear me? Unfortunately, he still can't hear me. So we'll do some more stories. Mr. Ibad, can you hear me, please? All right. Unfortunately, he can't. I saw on
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Ibad
can.
Ibrahim. Mr. Ibad,
I
can you
can
hear
hear
me?
you. I can
Yes,
hear
I
you.
can hear you now.
I can hear you loud and
Grateful, grateful. Welcome back. And we
so
were
I'm
almost
calling
wrapping
for
up, but
Kofi Asante. The scrapping of the element of body selection is too archaic, and the world has gravitated towards mechanized militaries where technology is the order of the day. So they should cut short the rigmarole and bottlenecks surrounding the enlistment. We've just seen the Ghana Armed Forces. I'm told other security agencies are in line to recruit, like the Ghana Immigration Service, the Ghana Police Service, and others. So the shorter the process, the better. So I think the process can be limited to 2 steps. Verification of an applicant's documentation, and then number 2, medical, screening. After those 2, that suffices. The idea of massing up at a pack like LWOC is a thing of the past, and we shouldn't repeat this.
do we have to go through this? Because it looks like you wrote on your status, I read it, and you made mention that in issues like that, on incident like this, there would be statements issued. Government would say they will bear the cost, they would support by way of state barrier or supported barrier of the deceased. They will pledge some few monies to them, etc. Are we always not being reactive instead of being proactive?
Generally, Senior Kofi Asante, in the past 2.5 decades or so, the average Ghanaian life has not been seen as worthy of the premium it deserves. And today, when people die, we feel it's a fleeting rush of pain that their families will face, and that will be it. And we've seen a certain MP, Honorable J.B. Dankwa, killed. We've seen Major Mahama killed in the line of duty. We've seen the military and other security agencies kill people in the last 2 elections. We saw the maiming of people in the Ayawas West Wagon crisis. And then in Ejura, a social activist, Kaka, was killed. And then Zongo 7, they were killed, and the police came out to accuse them of armed robbery and put guns on them. Investigations happened, and then the investigations came out to say, after all, they were innocent. 250,000 or so was given to the family of each deceased person. So it's too simplistic for a third world country to think just anybody can end somebody's life. And the best we can do is that we give money to the deceased's family. No amount of money can buy a human soul, even if it is $1 billion US. So the question we need to ask, if those casualties were the sons of majors and captains and brigadier generals in the army, would compensations suffice? If those casualties we've seen over the years in our elections and other instances who have been killed in a very gruesome way were sons of ministers, would compensations suffice? I think there should be consequences for actions that are taken, and there should be accountability for fatal negligence. But if we continue to say, okay, we are sorry about that, it was a mistake, we issue a statement, then there is a commission of inquiry, there is a white paper, recommendations are made, and compensations are paid. Case closed. For how long can we continue this? So I think I would call for putting more premium on the average Ghanaian life so that we can forestall some of the acts of negligence that have fatal consequences for our young ones who want to step out and step up to serve Mother Ghana.
Let me find out from you, Mr. Ibad Ibrahim, the response from the Office of the President. You made some few remarks early on. He cut short the Nkukon Kitinkiti project on launch in Kumasi and took some time to visit the the 37 military hospital, and when he even left Accra to Kumasi, he officially made some pronouncement with respect to what happened here in Accra, called for suspension of the recruitment exercise here in Accra, and instituted or asked the Ghana Armed Forces to institute a committee by way of investigation. I am learning that those who are directly involved in this very recruitment exercise have been asked to step aside. I want to find out from you, being a security expert, all of this, the response from the presidency through to the ministry, to the Ghana Armed Forces themselves, setting up this committee and all of that. You are asking that heads must roll. Are you at least comfortable with how the processes have been unfolding so far?
Yes, Ante. Much as we commend the stellar reaction from the states, with the president, ministers, and other people, I think stepping aside is not enough. It can't supplant a human life that is lost. A complete dismissal for me would even not suffice. People should be prosecuted and people should do life sentences. And one of the gravest mistakes we made as a country was when we went to Parliament, sponsored a bill, and then came out with an act that scrapped the death penalty. It was a fatal mistake on our part. The fact that it was on paper that causing somebody to die could also cost you your life with enough deterrence. And now we say all offenses are bailable, including the most egregious. You can go on bail for carrying out the most egregious crime in Ghana. We are being more democratic than those who came up with the idea of democracy. And so we are being too puritanical than sheikhs, and we are even being holier than the Pope. So I believe that the element of deterrence has to be part of our legal regime throughout, regardless of how we deem ourselves matured democratically. And because the average Ghanaian can only do things when do things right, when there are consequences for doing the right opposite. And we are making some sweeping reforms. Teachers are now asked not to flagellate or discipline, students. And look at the level of indiscipline. Look at the murder cases we are seeing across the country. And today, we have gone to Parliament and have duly passed the bill into law that says that the death sentence has been scrapped. So 6 lives are one too many. And I believe it's not enough to do interdictions here and there. Who can even tell if those people are reinstated when all the hue and cry runs into a lull at the end of the day? So somebody should do jail time for negligence that has cost the lives of people. That would serve as a deterrent to others who are decision makers.
Mr. Ibad Ibrahim, I accept all the things you said with respect to stepping aside not enough, and even taking one's job from him is not enough to suffice for the death of new recruits. But the fact is, all this investigation would go on with respect to military. In my 19 years experience in media, what I've noticed, I don't know if it is because of the security reasons, all their investigations never come out by way of public report. Never. From the shaman to whatever, election related, nothing will come out. So I am so unclear, or so certain, I must say, certain in my mind that this 6 death, that occasion at Elwak, the report would not be made public. People won't be sanctioned. It will be swept under the carpet, and would literally say the military will punish corporates and heads will roll, and the public will not get to know about anything with respect to this. Do you side with me?
Your assessment is right. That has been the benchmark. But there is a huge public interest in this particular case. Of course, we understand the rudiments of security and intelligence, and there is classification. Some things are classified. And some things are on a need-to-know basis. There are things a general will know that a captain will not know, depending on how classified those things are. But what has happened is a stampede in the full glare of the public, and somebody needs to be held accountable. When you look at other countries, for example, in the United States, when Trump was an opposition candidate running for president, somebody made an attempt on his life. He didn't die, but the head of the Secret Service that was in charge of his security had to resign. People have integrity. The buck stops with somebody, and the person should show integrity by walking away from the job. Will the Chief of Defense Staff resign as a result of this? Will the Deputy or Acting Minister for Defense resign as a result of this? That culture is not common here. And I believe if we can't, believe people and have confidence for them to own up to mistakes that are made under their watch, there should be jail time for fatal negligence. That is the only way we can stem the tide of these, unwarranted incidents that have been happening in the past 25 years or so. There need to be consequences, and the consequences should not go against some low-level military people. Decision makers have to own up, and where they need to do jail time, I believe they should, as a result of the respect we have for the lives of the 6 young and promising people who have died in their search for their daily bread and in their search for an opportunity to serve Mother Ghana.
So you support the fact that there should be some few reforms that would get the public in the know with respect to some consequences that happens in the military sector, in the military institution. We say the military is the most disciplined institution.
I didn't see that level of discipline from the videos you are showing me on the screen now. Earlier in the day, a young man called me and told me he wanted access to the inner perimeter of Elwak. And I called somebody at Burma camp. I couldn't reach the person. I didn't know that was the level of pandemonium at Elwak at that time. The young man's assessment, he could hazard a guess 8,000 or 9,000 people were crammed up around Elwak at that time. Why do you do this? And then I think, Senior Kofi Asante, we need to move away from the politics of optics, politics of aesthetics, politics of pleasing the gallery. If it is NAPCO we are inaugurating, we ask thousands of people to come from every nook and cranny of this country, come to the Independence Square so that the cameras will capture you. And then if it is recruitment we are doing, we are told of lines that snake their way. They meander through cantonments from Elwak. They go far beyond Ghana International School, GIS. And so who are you trying to impress with just pictures? So I think there need to be deep-rooted reforms. Recruitment should not happen the way they do now. We should make use of the regional, district, and other offices. There are ways you can even rent a space. You can even outsource this to the assemblies. So if you are within Ladade-Kotopon, there's no need for you to go beyond that. If you are within the Aswanso constituency, there's no need to go to a Jubilee Park or something. The security agencies should see MUSEC, the Municipal Security Council, and DISEC, which they are part of, as the barest threshold for them to get in touch with the people. So no municipal or district assembly, in my view, will say no to the Ghana Immigration Service, the Ghana Armed Forces, or the Ghana Police Service, that their space should be used to do the necessary things to recruit people into these services. That would even make the recruitment process more intimate, because then the community can be called to witness and pinpoint people with bad character and provide evidence to that regard. But because we have boxed up everything, we've centralized it, now we hear of cases where military people are complicit in Langite, military people duly recruited are complicit in armed robbery, police officers are complicit in crimes. So I think the reforms should go beyond the issuance of statements. These reforms should be deep-rooted. These reforms should devolve right to the threshold, which is the assembly, so that the community can be a part of the process and give us the very best to join our sensitive security agencies.
Mr. Ibad Ibrahim, on Wednesday, I was really livid over here, and I threw a lot of jabs. I must tell you, I did an editorial, I threw a lot of jabs, because in some 3 months back, on the same Wednesday, on the 6th of August, 3 months back, this same defense ministry relating to military took their defense minister, flew him in a helicopter that the reports are telling us have less safety enhancement equipment on it, and killed the defense minister, the minister who supervises over the military and everything, and 7 others, including the environment minister. And 3 months, and yes, 2 days, was also a Wednesday on the 11th or so, or the 12th or so, November, this same ministry has gone ahead by way of recruitment, killed 6 women. I was so livid over here. And in this world, where
in a serious country, you would have the Air Force commander, you would have people would resign in a serious country. It could even go as high up as the chief of defense staff in some countries.
Right.
But who resigns in the Republic of Ghana? Except a few. So that is why I think that taking up a position of trust should go beyond your contribution to a political party before it came to power. It should be built on integrity, it should be built on patriotism, and it should be built on taking responsibility. And that is the part to toe. If not, you are talking an interval of 3 months, and these are the casualties. Who knows what will happen in the next 3 months, and which state security agency? So I think your anger and angst on Wednesday in your editorial, it's not or wasn't misplaced. But beyond the anger, will the policymakers listen? Will they hearken to the calls that are being made for the needed reforms, or it will be business as usual?
It shouldn't be, Mr. Bad, it shouldn't be. In this world where there is a multiplicity of digital materials, artificial intelligence, do we still gather 21,000 people on Elwak Sports Stadium by way of recruitment?
You're even telling me the estimates go as high as 21,000. I was using the young man's estimate of 8,000 to 9,000. How do you cram 20,000 people in one space? How do you do that? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I think there should be some high-ups that walk away from the job. And I want to trust His Excellency the President. It's been a breath of fresh air. He doesn't care whose ox is God. We've seen him show leadership. And I think if we really need the reforms we are calling for, the President may have to ask some people to walk away, even if they don't do jail time.
I have 3 things for you to help me do this evening. Then I'll allow you, because it's Friday. I don't want to take a lot of your time. 3 things. First, I want to show you a video. I'll be showing you, I think, about 2 videos, if not 1. One is the Minister for Interior, Muntaka Mubarak. He has announced that the ministry is going to roll out a centralized e-recruitment portal aimed at harnessing and streamlining the hiring process across all agencies under the Ministry of Interior. I want him to speak. So Mr. Ibad Ibrahim, you can hear him directly. Then we can analyze it. Then I'll move to the next subject. Then we can call it a day. Please watch this.
As in line with the promise of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in the 2024 election. By recruiting into the internal security services, we are not only creating jobs, but also equipping our young people with the skills and training necessary to contribute to the development of our nation. This will have a positive impact on the economy and help to improve the standard of living of our citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, our hope is to have a very seamless recruitment exercise. The following measures, among others, have been put in place to ensure that the process is smooth and safe before, during, and after. 1, the application process will begin on Monday, November 17, 2025. It will be published in the national dailies on the ministries and its agencies' website and on social media platforms. There are 2 major channels to purchase application voucher. Honorable Minister for Government Communication, the Minister of Interior is working to make sure that everything that we do in that ministry move from paper to paperless. In line with that, at the comfort of your home, probably for the first time, you can start the process and finish with your mobile phone. Via the USSD dial code, which will be published hopefully by Sunday, because we don't want, for lack of better words, a rush. So we'll publish that on Sunday, just before the Monday. The details of the web address and the USSD short code.
Okay, so that's it over there, Mr. Ivan Ibrahim. Let me pick your reaction to this, because I think from the 17th of this month, there would be some recruitment exercise by way of Ghana Police, Ghana Prison Service, and Ghana National Fire Service, and Ghana Immigration Service. I, a media person, have received calls from people who want to enroll in some of those services, especially the immigration, and I keep directing them. Now, the Minister for Interior is saying there will be a portal, etc. What's your reaction to this?
I think the Honorable Minister, he's actually my uncle. He's my mother's brother, younger brother, actually.
Oh.
Muntaka is their father's, name. Okay, yeah. So he's my mother's brother, actually. Yeah. So he's doing his best, and the idea of making this seamless through digitization is a step in the right direction. And I'm happy they are doing this. I wish him and those who work under him the very best. So if the human involvement or interference is as minimal as possible, I think that would go a long way to take away the reports we are hearing or allegations of corruption. That there is a quid pro quo in some of these instances where somebody will say, bring this amount of money and I'll facilitate your enlistment and all that. So the more there is less human interference in the process, I believe, the better it's going to be. So let's believe in the assurances that have been given by the Interior Minister, and hope that the people who will be put in charge of these digital platforms would allow the platforms to work seamlessly, as he has indicated.
But the concern is, the computerized placement, selection and placement system, how sometimes it crashes, and sometimes under the former administration, some people can lock the portal and travel outside Ghana, and they have the administrative locks, they have locked it, they are not in the country, they are gone. What are the risks? I know we all appreciate some of this e-parliament, e-judiciary, e-this, e-that. And now Interior Ministry is doing things so we can go even passports and all of that. Don't you think we stand at risk at doing all of these e-stuffs?
Yeah, cracking me up, confess unto this evening. Earlier you said somebody's name has Momo in it. Interesting. So if you want to go E, you should be really prepared for E, Kofi Asante. Yeah. So I think the systems should have the latitude to be able to absorb. And just as the Interior Minister has said, they fear there could be a mad rush even before, ahead of time. So let's hope that by Sunday, as the Minister has indicated, when the portals are frank open, the thousands or tens of thousands that apply do not crash the system. We have a country where everything crashes, actually. You go to the bank, then they say the system has crashed.
Even hospital system no
Yes,
low. Telecommunication system no form. The BR system no form. Mr. Bat, let me do this with you finally. It has to do with the budget, which was read yesterday, and the Finance Minister, Kesa Atoforsen, is indicating to us that he is going to retool the Defense Ministry or our Security Ministry. The Minister of Finance, Dr. Kesa Atoforsen, has announced the government's efforts to modernize Ghana's armed forces, beginning with the retooling of the Ghana Air Force and Navy. So the first one, we are tackling Ghana Air Force and the Navy, and the renegotiation of a stalled defense procurement agreement in 2026, presenting the budget, etc. I want to pick your thoughts on this. With this in mind, the presentation of the helicopter crash in mind, I think they did it on either Monday or Tuesday. Then on Thursday, the minister comes to Parliament, and we are ready to purchase some more aircraft or retool the armed forces, etc. What do you make of all these trajectories?
I watched excerpts of the reading of the budget. I think by and large, it was quite a convincing budget. We just hope that implementation will be as convincing and as smooth as the reading was done in Parliament yesterday. As consultants, we have in the past been involved with the Ministry for Defense. There was a time the Defense Ministry put us and other people together, including members of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Defense and Interior, to look at how we can expand the kitty and then the spending basket of the Ministry of Defense. You know how polarized we are in this country. And defense equipment are very expensive. They run into millions of US dollars. So when you live in a country where people pry into everything that happens for cheap political gains, they would want to ask you, why did you put the president in this aircraft that costs this much? So they are quite reticent and reserved as to how they can freely spend. In some jurisdictions, I think the expenditure on defense is one of the biggest because of how important it is. Retooling, buying state-of-the-art equipment, and some of the APCs or armored personnel carriers we are using. I'm sure some of them are from the wars in Kosovo, Yugoslavia, some that were gifted to us after recent wars. We don't have a thriving military industrial complex. We don't manufacture anything, right, from walkie-talkies to the vehicles our military personnel use, not to talk of helicopters and warplanes. So you would have to rely on the benevolence of some other countries or their commercial interests. And they won't sell you what is good enough. They'll sell you what will keep you coming back, actually. So in the mid-term, engineering schools should be equipped. He heard of a university recently. It has a beautiful name. And I was told students have to climb 4 or 5 stories to get to the top, or even more, because the elevator was broken down. How does an elevator break down in a science university? So what scientific things are taught in that university actually? So I believe that if you want to stand up and be counted, you should get your basics right. And I think our basics are completely flawed. The retooling that is being talked about, what does it mean? Buying stuff from China, from Europe, or from America, actually. And one of the things we did that really pointed to how amiss we have gone as a country was when we allowed Apostle Kojo Kantanka to go with all that knowledge, all of that knowledge.
It's sad.
And now, hypocritically, we will now do a state burial and then shower him with tributes when the barest minimum could have been done. And Ghana would be producing her own weapons through the ingenuity of this man. A gem like Apostle Kojo Kantanka comes in a century. He is gone. He was doing exhibitions year in, year out, just to draw attention. That given the state support and all that, the least we could have done for Kantanka and Senior Kofi Asante was to even say ministries should procure 10% of their vehicles from him. Or to make his ideas go international, embassies and consulates should procure 50% of their vehicles. Then when you go for diplomatic programs, your colleagues would ask you, what is Kantanka? You would tell them it's a Ghanaian brand. We didn't do all of those. The man even came out to come with ideas of, building our own, military equipment. Nobody listened, actually. So it's a lost opportunity, but I believe if we put our acts together, this current century is only a quarter old. We have some 75 more years before 2100. So I believe that during that period, Ghana should have a long-term plan to wean ourselves off reliance on other countries for our military equipment, actually. Under heavy sanctions, some countries were able to do that. Under very heavy sanctions, countries like Iran and others North Korea and others were able to build their military capabilities. So I believe that retooling now is okay. But what are we doing for the next 75 years before the current century comes to an end? And I believe that our military forecast for the next 7 or 8 decades should be about domestication, procurement, human resource expertise, finishing, and all of those. And
you know what? I was quite amazed, Mr. Iban Ibrahim, when I heard the I forgot his name. He led the presentation of the helicopter crash report. He made the presentation. His name comes and it goes. Maybe it will come later. He made a presentation and said at a point when they visited the crash scene, the place was slippery. They have to use sticks. What happened to helicopters that can be flown for military people to come down from the helicopter to come and do all of those things? Do you think we have invested enough since 1992 to today, 14th of November 2025, in the military, in the defense and the security of our country?
It's beautiful to say we have a lot of military academies and people are taught some of these things. People are proud to say, oh, I went to Esuchari, to the shooting range to learn how to shoot, or I'm a sniper. A security person told me some time ago, he pointed to something and said he could shoot straight to hit that target. People are happy to say, I'm just back from Bundasi, jungle warfare training and all that. What you are mentioning is rappelling.
Okay,
coming down.
We got it.
Yes, coming down from a helicopter using ropes. So didn't we have the capability to fly another helicopter? What was the response time for VVIPs to be aboard such a helicopter? And shouldn't the helicopter have been accompanied? I believe going forward, maybe one heli alone should not fly VVIPs. The medical team and other engineers can be on another, so that in case there is an emergency like this, and there would be a way. Because when you look at the level of burning, people were completely charred actually, and you could only get debris, fragments of the of the helicopter, telling you that response time was quite slow. So the thing kept burning and burning. And I'm just happy the report has not incriminated anybody. The fact that there is no suspicion of foul play will give some emotional closure to the families of those gallant Ghanaians that were lost on that day. So I believe that drones can be used. There are many ways to do surveillance. So even if your system crashes in Accra, or any part of the country, aviation transport should be safe, not only for politicians, for all of us. People fly domestically. If something happens to any of our domestic airlines, what will be the response time? The only state institution that can be trusted to respond is the military. So I think a lot of confidence has been lost, and I believe that much more needs to be done to redeem that loss.
Mr. Eba, I want you to make time and let's have a one-on-one on Zoom like this where we'll discuss I can see growing indiscipline for security officials, even the military. People are seemingly indisciplined towards the military. And that's why I was very happy when the IGP, in collaboration with the military, organized a dawn soup at Volta, Ashanti, and Ahafo regions. I was so happy. If they go through screening and you are culpable, you face justice, you face the law. People are beginning not to fear the military. For the police, they police force. Now it's getting to the military. And we are citizens, as responsible media persons and commentators and analysts and experts like you, we should educate the public to know where our level gets to. Military indiscipline among civilians. People are ready to beat military people up, except in exception of what happened in, what's the name, where Captain Mahama passed on, now Major Mahama. I've forgotten the name of the place, but the man I was talking about, his name is Fojo. He led the presentation at the Jubilee House last Wednesday or Tuesday or so. And people are just indisciplined, and they are ready to fight the military and beat up military officers. So I plead with you, if you could have some time for us anytime, then we can have a special discussion on this very subject. But before you leave, yes, I don't know if you want to pass a comment about this.
Thank you so much, Senior Kofi Asante. Thank you for tolerating me and then being patient with me. And sometimes things get overwhelming and we keep pushing our interview sessions. I really appreciate your patience, Senior. And then when it is mutually convenient, it's a conversation I believe we can have, sir.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. And we thank you for having some time for us. We believe we didn't take too much of your time. It's a Friday evening. God bless you.
That's fine. Thank you, Senior. Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
All right. So that was Mr. Ibadi Ibrahim, security expert and social development analyst. And he is quite usual on our network here on NSG News. We are going for a quick breather. I have more stories for you. You have to stay patient with me right here on NSG News TV. And when I return, there will be more stories. I will be taking you back to Parliament and the singing competition that happened in Parliament. I have a lot of things to share with you. I talk to you about Black Stars. Black Stars. Japan first so to say no me Pierre 2. What is that? I'll show you the highlights. Please stay with me. I'll be right back. Hi there. What number is this? 3, right? All right. It's time for NSG News. Welcome. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah. And here at NSG News, you'll get serious documentary to watch, news, reviews, views, and what have you. Because we have Pulse of the Week and also exclusive on the hot seat. On NSG News, we say news with integrity. All right, so welcome back, and thank you very much for coming with me. Let me take you back to Parliament, because the minority in Parliament have been wild. They've been talking, an exception of talking in the, the August House, the Parliament House. They have also been talking outside Parliament by way of press conference. And I want to share with you what Amin Adams has been leading, the former finance minister. He has been leading the minority in Parliament and organizing press conference and describing the budget in certain ways. So this is the story. The minority in Parliament has described the budget 2026 as growthless, jobless, and minimalist, saying it falls short of addressing Ghana's urgent economic challenges. Speaking at the press conference on a Friday today, November 14, on behalf of the caucus, former finance minister and member of Parliament, Amin Adam criticized the budget for lacking substance and for offering only cosmetic rhetoric from what he called a crawling government.
Thank you, Leader, colleagues, members of Parliament, members of the media fraternity. We've invited you this morning to present our preliminary position on the 2026 budget and policy statement of the government of Ghana, presented in Parliament yesterday by the Honorable Minister for Finance. This is the second annual budget of the NDC government. We were expecting that this budget would deliver hope and positive direction to our economy following a year of inactivity. Unfortunately, it is another budget used to apportion blame to the MPP government, the previous MPP government, and thus neglect the responsibility of the NDC government to the people of Ghana. As a responsible minority, we have chosen to present a constructive alternative view to the budget, which was more or less another litany of initiatives they do not intend to implement. Gradually, the people of Ghana will come to terms with this government's mastery of propagating empty slogans and yet delivering nothing. The 2026 budget is presented under the theme Resetting for Growth, Jobs and Economic Transformation. It builds on recent macroeconomic stability which began under the MPP government. The trajectory for a return to single-digit inflation, improved reserves, and early signs of recovery in the non-oil GDP sector was expected. And we have known this since a year ago when the MPP left government. And these were due to the policies the previous MPP government implemented. As we have said in the past, the NDC has not initiated any new strategic policy to drive these developments. They have simply stuck to script developed by the MPP with the IMF 2 years ago when we negotiated the ECF IMF program. The central position of the budget is that Ghana is now transitioning from stabilization to a big push of investments that would drive jobs, exports, energy security, and socio-economic transformation. While the government highlights recent stabilization gains, a close examination of the budget numbers reveals concerns that must be brought to the attention of the Ghanaian public. Stabilization is not transformation. Real economic transformation requires strong productive investments, credible financing, improved energy reliability, and a vibrant private sector.
All right, so that was Amin Adams over there, and the minority leader, Alexander Afenyo-Markins, has launched a sharp attack on the government, accusing it of abandoning its much promoted 24-hour economy policy in the 2026 budget, despite months of assurances that the initiative would deliver thousands of jobs. He spoke in Ghana. He said, where are the jobs? I don't know how to say it in Ghana, but Afenyo-Markins spoke in Ghana. Watch it.
Ni atwa a vote ka ha me ameke akenuchu momba ameke wa ke akenuchu momba abaha wo 24-hour economy, 1 job 3 shifts yano yakwe gamashi teshi la nungwa yute ameke ingwe 24-hour economy yo nichumwe ingwe nichume yo omusi ejuma no wayi musi 24 hours
ewo he ejuma no amenke nuchu mo just what's the meaning of nuchu hey nuchu mo amenke. All right, so feel free. This is our broadcast here from Amahia, Adenta, Accra, Ghana. And this is Kofi Asante Mensah here on NSG News. This is Pulse of the Week, and this is our news update. Welcome to our newsroom. We do more stories. This is where the majority and the minority turned parliament into some orchestra, some singing competition. The speaker couldn't take it. He just stood, left the chamber, went to rest, took some water or some drink, and came back later. Just watch the singing.
Thank you. You know this is the most watched. Yeah.
Mahama is the hope. The minority also said Ato is failing, or Ato is falling. Either failing or falling, but it was the same. And the majority said Ato is forcing. Yeah, his name is Ato Forcing. Okay, so one is Ato is failing or falling, all right? And the other says Ato is forcing. Kai. Former Vice President and 2024 presidential candidate of the opposition New Patriotic Party has expressed deep sorrow over the tragic incident at the Elwak Sports Stadium that claimed the lives of several young Ghanaians. In this case, 6 females died. This is Dr. Mahmoud Baumia.
I just want to remind all of us that yesterday a tragedy struck Ghana at the Elwak Sports Stadium. And I'm really speaking with a heavy heart as I speak on this issue, because young men and young women went to look to try to get a job. And in the process, 6 young ladies, only ladies, lost their lives tragically yesterday. my deepest condolences on my own behalf and on behalf of the party to the families. They are grieving, their loss is very deep, and we don't know even what words we can offer to give them some comfort. But our deepest condolences on my behalf and on behalf of the New Patriotic Party to all the families who have sadly lost very dear ones. I think that the lesson in all of this that we can tell is that the military should review their processes for recruitment so that we can look at more modern techniques, apply some technology in the selection of these recruits. I think these are some of the lessons that we should learn so that something like this does not happen again. But for those we have lost, may their souls rest in perfect peace. Amen.
Amen. Over there, Dr. Mahmoud Baumi over there, and we pray for the best. And let's move and do some few little sports. You know, Ghana locked horns with their counterparts, the Black Stars, their counterparts in Japan today, and that was a friendly match today, Friday, 14th November. Ghana lost to Japan 2-0, and the first half 16 minutes, Mr. T. Minamino is a player. He scored at the 16th minute, and Aro Dion at the 60th minute also scored the second goal, and K. Sano assisted the 16th minute goal, and Kubo also assisted the 60th minute goal. The venue was all the way in Toyota Stadium. And here are some few match statistics. Overall ball possession, Japan had 51.3%. Ghana, listen to Ghana, 48.7%. All right. And short. Japan had 14. Ghana had 7. Single number, 7. Hey, Ghana. We're in a Model World Cup. Yo. And shots on target. The whole 90 minutes, Japan had 5 shots on target. Ghana had 2. Total touches inside the opposition box. Japan had 20, Ghana had 5. Goalkeeper saves. Japan had 2, Ghana had 3, and it goes on and on. Fouls, Ghana had 13. That was the most closest. Japan had 14 fouls. Ghana had 13. So that was the closest. Corners, we had only 1 corner. 4 corners for Japan. What is this? So it goes on and on and on and on, the first and the second half, and defense tactics and all of it. But I'm happy. Kofi Berry and Justice Kluche have the highlight for you. Enjoy this. When Black Stars for Akakoye. When Omakoye, Black Stars 2-0. Well, in Kofu say they didn't play with their key players. About 5 players were quite regular, and the rest were quite kobo. First time calling, or they received their Black Star call for the first time, and this is the first time some of them are participating. I don't have those details here, but that's what I've heard, and I think it's okay. But you know, when you lose to in international friendlies like this, I'm sure it affects your world FIFA ranking. So we have to also take it serious. It helps us. We are preparing for the World Cup, so it helps us. All right, so that's our show for today. My name is Kofi Asante Mensah. Let me say a big thank you to Executive Secretary Ziba. Ziba, thank you very much, and keep on with those inspiring gospel songs. Please keep soaring high. A. Molekweda, Executive Producer, thank you, sir, for being there for us. God bless you so much. Justice Kluche, Operations Manager. Justice! Thank you, it's Friday. You know why I'm shouting. Justice, you know why I'm shouting. All right? Francis Entry, we call him Kofi Berry. And Kofi, happy birthday in advance to you. 16th of November, it's your birthday. Today is 14th. Tomorrow, Saturday, is 15th. Sunday is 16th. So 16th is your birthday. So this one is in advance to you, Kofi Berry. Happy birthday in advance to you, Kofi Berry. And we want to say a big thank you to you, especially you. You have kept faith with us. You've been watching us since the start of the program till now, and we are happy you are there for us. This has been Pulse of the Week, the Friday edition. A big thank you to our guest online. His name is Ibad Ibrahim, and all members who love NSG News online, wherever you are, we say thank you. Please go on our website, www.nsgnews.com, and read more on our website. This is the week we brought you so many stories. Today's stories, most major stories, has to do with the Ghana Armed Forces recruitment tragedy. We also brought you excerpts of the budget statement read in Parliament yesterday, and also the approval of the Chief Justice, Justice for Baffoe-Bonne, and Ghana versus Japan, where Ghana lost some 2-0. And my name is Kofi Asante Mensah. Thank you so much for being there for us. And we want to end today's session. Today's Friday. We want to end with a sweet melody from the legendary archives of Daddy Lumba. We call him Charles Kwadwofosu, a.k.a. Daddy Lumba, S-K-A-D-L. S-K-A means simply known as. And he sang this very song for his dear and beloved girlfriend, I think in secondary school or something. Her name is Teresa Abebrese. So on the note of Teresa Abebrese, we say good evening and we salute you. Bye-bye.